Finally, Noragami is back and I could not be happier. Now, if you all have been subbed to my channel since early on last year, then you know that I did review season 1 of Noragami and I loved it a lot. And season 2, picks off kind of like right where we left off from season 1. At least to me, that right there was the impression that I got. And of course, I'm not saying, that's a bad thing. In fact, that right there is a great thing. Of course, we have our 3 main characters, Yato, Yukine, and Hiyori. And it seems nothing has really changed. We have Yato still trying to make a name for himself, and we have Hiyori who still has a problem of her soul, still, coming out from her body. And of course now we have Bishamon, who seems to be more prevalent this season, as the episode started off with her having a nightmare about, her being covered in a blight infection. And not to mention, we have Yato killing off, plenty of her regalias. And to me, that right there, was brutal. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I did like it for some reason. Now I'm not saying that in a cruel way, but to me though, that the way, Yato was doing it, to me, it looked pretty freaking badass. And so, of course, now, once she had, woke up from that nightmare, she still wants to get her revenge. And we see that, eventually, especially from the way that the opening went, and that right there I will talk about later. These two will definitely have, another battle, and hopefully, this battle could be, a serious one later on. But at least that right there is where it's going to be hinting at. And so right now we have Yato still struggling, to make a name for himself, but he actually did get called, for a job. And then we have Hiyori, who had went to school, and her life still seemed, pretty normal for the most part. But of course, when she helping one of her friends, and her soul slipped out, that right there is where her day really began. And to me, it was definitely kind of funny how even though she should be focused on school right now and doing her work, she actually went to go find, Yato and Yukine, who she actually tracked by their scent. So, so Hiyori is becoming more and more cat-like, not only the tail, but her nose, works pretty good as well. And so now we see that for the job they had to watch over this baby while the mother was getting some sleep. And we learn now that Yato is actually pretty good with babies. But eventually, even though they will all have an easy time watch over the child, eventually they were attacked by a phantom. And this phantom took the form of some kind of creepy rabbit. And to me, I'm not gonna lie, that right there definitely could have been, an animatronic that you would see in Five Nights at Freddy. Even though I don't play the game, I am definitely interested in the lore of it. But we see now that while Yato was fighting this phantom, we learned that somehow it was able to actually regenerate, and so we learned that the reason why it could do that is because Yato was not fighting his real body. He was actually fighting one that was made. Sorry about that, but as you all probably heard, I did have a phone call back then. But back to what I was saying, that phantom was actually made by that baby, and to me, I find that pretty surprising, because how in the world could a baby make this thing? But we did learn that phantom came into existence because it was just lonely and had wanted someone to play with. But we see now that after Yato, or you can just say cut that phantom down inside that mirror, and that right there also had reminded me from a scene from another show that I'm watching called Yushio and Tora, where they also had throw with a demon inside a mirror. But back to Noragami, after they had killed or after they got rid of that the Phantom, obviously everything had went to normal, but that apartment was a mess. And I definitely felt bad for that lady, because, you know, when she wakes up, obviously she will see that, like, that her dishes are broken, and her TV, you know, it's like messed up, but at least, you know, Hiyori and Yukine made Yato clean up. And so now we see that the god of disaster, now I did forget her name, but she is back along with her regalia as well. But there was like one scene where we have Yato and Yukine like walking the streets, and obviously, you know, like they can see, you know, that black mist that was like rising, you know, like into the sky, and you would think that, you know, these two, you know, would go deal with that, but no, that right there was not the case, because we have Yato, you know, putting Yukine in some alley, and of course, you know, that right there had made me wonder why he's doing that. But we see, because it was Bishamon, you know, she was there, and she was heading toward the area. And we have, you know, Yato, you know, telling Yukine, because he was like warning just what will happen between them, or I believe that was what he said. But eventually, you know, Yato was saying that, you know, no matter what, he must stay away from her. But we see now that we have like these bird-like phantoms. They were attacking this, you know, defenseless spirit, and so we see that, you know, like they were already getting to her, as we saw her, you know, covered in like blight wounds, and not to mention she had like a bird coming out her back, and to me that right there looked like kind of nasty. But Bishamon actually got rid of them with like her arsenal of regalias, and even though I'm pretty sure that like that you know, knowing her, she would only have to use one, she had brought out like maybe 5 or more, but eventually, you know, she did get rid of them all. And so now we see, you know, luckily, you know, like even though that spirit was safe, she was not out of harm's way, as she actually, you know, like as that blight would not go away that easily, especially, you know, that bird head. And so the only way to like purify her was to actually cut it out. But luckily, Bishamon, you know, was successful, and not to mention she actually made this girl into a regalia. But of course, this girl was like not a normal one, as she actually took the form of a broken mirror. And we learn now that like once infected, you know, you can never be a proper one, but at least, you know, Bishamon gave her a purpose. But I will say that it will definitely be kind of awkward, you know, for her to be, you know, a broken mirror when she does change. And so eventually we have Yukine and Yato, you know, splitting ways, and we have Yukine walking along this riverbank. And so now after he had passed these 2 boys who were talking, you know, he had like sat on this grass, but eventually someone had told him to not sit on these flowers, and that right there, you know, really surprised him, because normally, you know, people can't see him, but it turns out that the boy who was talking to him also, you know, was regalia, which like made perfect sense. And that right there has started this bond of friendship between them, which is like definitely nice, because Yukine really has no one to really hang out with except for Hiyori and Yato, and I'm not saying that it is a bad thing, but of course having friends is also, you know, a blessing as well. And so now, while they were talking, hanging out, we actually go back to Bishamon, who her and other regalias were like welcoming her, welcoming the newcomer or noob. And so right now, you know, while they all was like welcoming her, there was like one girl in particular who was like giving her this like dirty look, and I have no idea why that is. And even when the newbie was like being showed around, she was still getting, you know, dirty looks. And so to me, I was like wondering what's going on. So hopefully that regalia in particular, you know, we will learn about her, because I see no reason for her, you know, to be acting like that. And so right now, Bishamon, who was talking to Kazuma, I believe his name is, and we learn now that, you know, Bishamon, she is not in the best shape. She has so many regalias, and that right there is like definitely taking a toll on her. And also she been stung as well. And so right now, you know, so right now, even though her blight infection is not that bad, it's possible that it might get worse. And we see her now taking like some kind of medicine, and we have no idea if that right there will work or not. But apparently she has a curer who actually came to like get her well for a bath, and we even have him asking her if she wants him to make what's called a medical bath for her as well. And so we see now that this Kura guy, he actually brought up what Kazuma did in season 1 when it came to, you know, curing, you know, Yukine back when he almost went out of control in season 1. And so now I'm guessing because Kazuma, you know, was involved in that, even though Bishamon, you know, does not believe it at first, I'm guessing that the reason why the reason why she might have been stung, as she calls it, it is possible because of what he did, you know, back then. Now I don't know if that right there, you know, tied into each other, but it might. But speaking of Bishamon though, when Yukine found out that that this guy was like, you know, Bishamon regalia, obviously that right there raised a red flag to him, especially after what Yato said. And so now I do wonder what he might do. But after you can have found that out, we have Bishamon's cure, you know, what's called supposed cure, you know, holding a mask that we saw that was left by the Phantom that baby made. So right now I'm thinking this guy can obviously not be trusted, and it's like highly possible that, you know, this, you know, Kura, because right now we don't know his name, he could be, you know, the real villain for this season. And that right there, I definitely cannot wait to learn more about him. But also there was like one scene that, you know, kind of confused me, and it was where Hiyori was like helping Yukine with his schoolwork. And so right now we have the God of Destruction or her regalia, you know, asking how Yukine was when it came to his studies. And so right now Hiyori had realized that if the guy was in school, he would be an 8th grader, and that right there would be like 1 grade below her. And so right now Hiyori was like thinking that, you know, like for some reason it's possible that these two had illicit sexual relations, and for some reason I don't know how in the world those two connect at all. Now it's obvious that right there might have went over my head, but for some reason I don't know how in the world those two connect, and that right there did like somewhat confuse me. So maybe, you know, one of you guys can explain it to me. But overall for an episode, to me, I thought it was great. If you like season 1 of Noragami, then obviously you would like definitely like this episode, because to me it gives off the exact same vibes. Now about the opening and ending. Now for the opening, I do like the I do like the visuals, because Noragami has some pretty good animation, but for some reason that song to me, it's just not working, and I'll be honest, I don't like it too much. But the ending though, it definitely was, you know, kind of alright. Now obviously, you know, I'm not gonna be too picky, but you know, that right there, it's just my personal opinion. But of course, I'd love if you got thoughts on this, and please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because it really helps me out. But as always, you gotta take it easy. I will see you all next time.